Hello and welcome. Have you ever really thought about the incredible journey your food takes before it even gets to your plate? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the story of farming, from its absolute basics as an act of survival all the way to the giant global industry it is today. So let's dig in. Seriously, just think about your last meal for a second. Behind every single bite, there's a whole story. A story about a farmer, a piece of land, and a very specific way of getting that food to grow. Today we're going to uncover some of those stories.
But farming is so much more than just what we eat. It's a massive part of our global economy. In a country like India, for instance, agriculture isn't just a sector. For millions of people, it's a way of life that has shaped and continues to shape the entire nation.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why farming is so fundamental. Then we'll explore three totally different systems: primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, and farming for profit. And we'll wrap it all up by putting them side by side to see how they compare. You see, the way we farm has changed so dramatically over the centuries. It's been shaped by everything from our climate to our technology. So let's jump right in and look at the three major systems that have come out of this long evolution. Let's start at the very beginning, with the oldest form of agriculture you can imagine. This is farming at its most raw, its most basic, all driven by one single, powerful motivation: pure survival.
The key word here is right in the name: subsistence. The goal isn't to make money or to fill up a supermarket aisle. Nope, it's simply to grow enough food to keep your family fed. There's almost never anything left over to sell.
This kind of farming is a closed loop, really. We're talking super basic, handheld tools. The workforce? That's just the family, or maybe the immediate community. And instead of fancy technology, these farmers are completely in tune with the rhythms of nature, relying on the seasonal rains and whatever nutrients the soil naturally has. Now, you've probably heard of this practice. It's often called slash and burn. Here's how it works. Farmers clear a small patch of land by cutting down and burning the trees and plants. The ash from the fire actually fertilizes the soil, but only for a little while. Once the soil's nutrients are used up, they pack up, move to a new spot, and let the old one recover. The cycle starts all over again.
What's really fascinating is that this isn't just some one-off practice. It's a global phenomenon, and different cultures have given it their own unique names. Let's start by just looking at India for a moment.
So if we take a quick trip around India, up in the northeastern states, they call it Jhumming. Pop over to Manipur, and you'll hear it called Pomlu. Down in Jharkhand, it's known as Karua. So many different names, but they all describe this same ancient way of farming to survive.
So, if it's this common all across India, does this ancient technique show up in other parts of the world too?
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Our journey continues. In Mexico and Central America, it's called milpa. In Brazil, it's roca. Over in Vietnam, it's ray. It's pretty amazing, right? This one practice connects us to our shared agricultural past, showing how resourceful humans have always been.
Okay, but what happens when you can't just move to a new patch of land? What if the population grows and there's just no more land to move to? Well, that pressure forces the next big evolution in farming.
And right here, we see a fundamental shift. The goal isn't just to survive anymore. Now it's all about getting the absolute highest production possible from a very limited piece of land. And the driving force behind this change? More people. Plain and simple.
So the crucial point here is intensity. Farmers have to work the same plot of land again and again and again, trying to squeeze every last bit of food out of it. And as you can imagine, that takes a ton of human labor.
To get more from the land, farmers can't just rely on nature anymore. This is where we start to see things like biochemical inputs, think fertilizers, and irrigation systems come into play. It's a much more hands-on approach, all designed to push that land to produce more than it would naturally.
But this system has a major challenge built right into it. It's the right of inheritance. As land gets passed down from one generation to the next, it gets split up among the children. Over time, these farm plots get smaller and smaller and smaller until they become incredibly inefficient and difficult to manage.
And that brings us to our third and final category, where the whole reason for farming flips on its head one more time. We're moving away from feeding the family and into feeding the market. This is agriculture as a business.
With commercial farming, every single decision is all about the market. The goal is profit, end of story. And to get there, farmers use all kinds of modern inputs, everything from scientifically designed seeds to massive machinery.
So what are we talking about when we say modern inputs?
We mean high-tech, high-yielding variety seeds that are engineered for maximum output. We're talking powerful chemical fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides to protect the crops. In places like Punjab and Haryana in India, this high-input, high-output model has completely changed the game.
A classic example of commercial farming? The plantation. Think about huge fields of tea, coffee, rubber, or bananas. It's all about growing one single crop over a massive area. This takes a huge investment of money and a lot of workers. And every single thing that's grown is sold to industries, which means the whole system relies on a well-oiled network of transportation and markets to even work.
So, we've gone on quite a journey through 3 very different ways of farming, each with its own story. Now, let's put them all side by side and really see how they stack up.
This table really tells the whole story, doesn't it? You can see the purpose shift from just family survival to maximizing production, all the way to profit. The scale grows from a tiny patch of land to enormous areas. And our relationship with the land itself changes, from relying on nature's gifts to mastering it with technology.
And all of this leaves us with a really critical question. Each of these systems exists for a reason, each with its own benefits and its own costs. As we look ahead to a future with billions more people to feed and a climate that's changing fast, we have to ask ourselves, what does the next chapter in the story of farming look like? Which of these models will we rely on, or will we need something entirely new?